Hey guys, it's Sean Zine, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. We have live number 71 on the year. Number 71. Again, this is all about adding value to your life, making sure that you gain something, that you are educated, that you're going to take some information and implement and actually take some action. I love action takers. And the guests that I bring on are all about action and are all about making things happen and helping you. That's the benefit, is dropping value consistently so that others learn from you. So I want to bring on Tommy Hilcken. What's going on, my good friend?
Hey, Sean, good to see you. And
Good to see
glad
you.
glad to be number 71.
It's
I
a big
fell in
number.
I fell in the first 100, so we're in a good spot.
That's for sure. We love to, drop value, because I think that's the important thing for business today. A lot of people are all about marketing themselves, and that's what you should be doing. But you don't want to just
Yeah.
pitch product and service all day long. It should be, how can I help you grow? And that's why I love bringing people on and having conversations with. I would normally do this live, face to face, but now I can get more of them done, and it's more convenient for both if everyone has today a phone and a computer. But for those that are watching, can you give us a little introduction for you and who you are and what you're about?
Well, yeah, easy enough. I just celebrated 31 years of being in business. I decided 31 years ago I wanted to be self-employed, and I made that decision and I made the leap of faith and have been hanging in ever since. And again, like I remind everybody, being self-employed isn't for the faint of heart. It really isn't. I've had to take on and learn a lot about business and move forward. But really, I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, and an entertainer, lifelong entertainer. I was a professional clown. I used to tour the world as a professional clown. So my background is in comedy and magic. And then I learned how to do presentations and teach presentation skills. So pretty much anywhere there's a microphone, I want to be holding it. And if you have to hold a microphone, I have the ability to help you be better at it. That's the way I look at it.
Now, this is awesome. I appreciate you again taking some time out of your busy day to, share some nuggets with us. And
Sure.
a lot of people have a fear of public speaking. It's not like anything new. It's been around
Yeah,
forever. People have
forever.
this issue. It starts when you're younger, I think. And
Hmm.
if you're not starting to do things when you're younger and you start getting older and you're like, shit, I should have started practicing more so I can be in front of people, but they don't. So, how do we help, or how do you help some others that are having that fear? What are some things that they should be focused on?
To anybody viewing this or listening to this, I have, and I'm taking full credit. I have created the reason and the breakthrough you need to not have a fear of public speaking. And it's quite simple. I've done so many presentations, so many trainings on public speaking, but I always ask people for their number one thing: what's their biggest challenge, right? And over the years, I've collected the information, and it's not so much that people have a fear of public speaking as much as they have a fear of being judged. Right? So everybody puts it that they lump it in with the fear of public speaking, but in reality, they have this tremendous fear of being judged. So the breakthrough comes as this: if you have a fear of being judged, get over it. You are. Sean, right now, you and I, we're being judged, right? What kind of a hat? What am I doing? Why is this guy wearing glasses? He doesn't sound so good. We're being judged. Plain and simple, people judge other people. So if you have a fear of public speaking, chances are it's not. It's you have a fear of being judged. And the way to do it is get over it.
It's so true. And a lot of people, I've been doing video, really doing video for the last 3 years, and it
Right.
has changed my business. It has changed my life. It has changed me. And I'm always
Good.
telling people, you have a problem. You are worried about judging. People are judging you. Hey, at least you're doing something. They're probably jealous of you. That's why they're
Yeah.
judging you. So every one of us has all this content in their head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the beauty is to share that content. I speak with real estate agents, and it's funny. I'll say, how do you get most of your business? And some of them say, oh, for sale by owners, expireds. Maybe they send mailers out. And I said, can you go into more detail what you do, maybe for expireds? And they're like, oh, I don't want to share my secrets. And I laugh at them and I'm like, what,
Right.
you think that people, you sharing, I live in abundance. That's the mindset I'm in. I know there's enough business everywhere, but I
Everywhere.
love to share because it comes back to you.
If you don't mind, can I share a story? I often tell people about that.
Yeah.
And it goes way back, and some people might not know the reference, but the late great Vince Lombardi was a great coach for the Green Bay Packers. And the only reason I got into it, it was a little before my time as well, but many books were written on him and his leadership. And he used to say that at game day, he could give the playbook to the other team because in reality, when it came down to the day of the game, the only thing that would work was execution. So if you go out and execute your plan, it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, right? So a lot of it, I look at it this way, the cream always rises to the top. And another thing I always say, successful people will always share with other people how they became successful. So if somebody's not sharing with you, there's a reason. Go find a successful person. They'll be glad to teach you how they did it.
No, so true. And it's, I believe the more content, the more value that we bring to others, it just comes back. I
Yeah,
believe the more I
right.
can help others. Zig Ziglar says the more people you can help get what they want out of life, you're going to get everything out of your life. And I'm like,
Yep.
this is so simple, but it is that simple, but people don't want to follow that.
Yeah, so simple. And I studied with Zig. I went down to Dallas and studied for Zig to get my certification in presentation skills with Zig. And 1996 was the first time I ever heard Zig. And those principles he laid out just were incredible. What a great man. And again, as I'll say, if you don't know who Zig Ziglar is, and it's fine, YouTube him. You'll be glad you did.
That's another thing is a lot of people like to read books. They might go on read and listen to podcasts. They might go on YouTube, but they don't implement and take action. And that's
Uh,
what I'm always trying to teach people and promote. And it's like, listen, put it out there. Put anything you learn, do a quick video, mention wherever you got your resource from, and throw it out to the universe because nobody wants to read anymore. So if you're
no.
providing that value, you're helping others.
Yeah, and on that note, as you say, people always used to say knowledge is power, but the lesson learned is applied knowledge is power, right? It's the application of everything we learn. We know a lot of people who have great knowledge, but are they applying it? So once you learn something, the secret is to go out and apply it. That's where the growth comes. That's where the learning comes.
And going with, I think, practicing as well. If we're talking about real estate agents, preparing for
Uh,
your listing presentation, for a buyer
uh,
presentation, that's so key.
you know, every time you mention these things like practice and preparing, and as I said, I studied with Zig. So Zig used to always say it comes down to plan to win, prepare to win, and most importantly, expect to win. That's a great three phrases: plan to win, prepare, and expect. Right? A lot of people set things up, but they don't have in their expectation that they're going to win. And I mean, a lot of people don't want to talk about winners and losers, but it's a different concept. Winning is really just pretty much achieving your goal and giving yourself a pat on the back. Hey, man, I just won. I achieved what I was looking to do. Nothing wrong with that.
And it would be nice to win more. And if you just replicate what you're doing, it will
Yeah.
happen. That's why you have a Lombardi out there that just did what you're supposed to do. And you're seeing other dynasties that are out there. They just keep replicating what they've done.
Yeah, and every time you go out, you just go out to be your personal best. And like I'm a big self-help guy, Tony Robbins, all that kind of stuff, great stuff. And Tony would always say, go out and be your personal best. And when you're done, you take your foot off your throat, you just debrief how things went, and all you're looking for is what could I possibly improve. Everything was just fine. What could I improve? What a great way to look at life. We're just going through it. Like today, things are going to go okay for us today, but when we're done, we can look and say, hey, what could we have done better? Not like it was bad, but what could we have done better? What a great way to go through life. It's always served me very well.
The reflection is very important. So you all, like we go back to judging. We should be able to judge ourselves and figure out
Mm,
what did we do right, what did we do wrong. Yeah, I've done 71 of these this year. I know I'm always continuing and trying to upgrade. I'm throwing different things into the mix. I am
Yeah.
actually investing in my whatever we want to call this show. I have that a new microphone coming in another week, so the
Beautiful.
audio will be better. So these are things that are so key to make yourself better. Now, when you take clients on, when you ask them about what are some things that are, what is really something that needs a lot of improvement, and on average that you're seeing some people, is it they speak too fast, they jumble over words? I know a lot of people are and like
Right.
that
Right.
kind of terminology.
So there's two things that I always think of. There's two things I work with: the message and the messenger. Right. A lot of people don't take the time to prepare the message. So no matter how good you are at being a messenger, if you don't have the message lined up with the messenger, it doesn't work. But you're talking about filler words like and so. A lot of people struggle with that because they don't recognize it, they don't realize it, they didn't prepare. But if you wrote your speech out and prepared, there's never a so. It's not in there. So the reason I do it is I make people aware that they're using those filler words, as we call them, because that's really what they are. And what it is if you do too many filler words along the way, and people are listening and hearing and so, the only thing they're listening for is the next and so. They're losing your message completely. So the secret is to focus on how you can get your message out. And again, it comes down to training and practicing. I use four words that I think will be helpful to you and your listeners and the people watching. I always say be, believe, behave, become. I love those. I love that. Be, believe, behave, become. So if you want to be a public speaker, you need to believe that it's possible. You have to start doing certain behaviors, and soon enough you will become. But I want to share this with you. That goes for anything you want to be in business. If you want to be a really good real estate agent, you have to believe you are. You have to do the behavior, and you'll become. And I really mean that. It works in every aspect of life. Take those four words and apply them to your life. It'll change things.
No, I love that. That's a great way of thinking about it's a process. A lot of things are
Process.
processes that you have to follow. And if you're
Yes.
not, it's an issue. And it's funny to me, a lot of people don't even know how to use the phone properly. And public speaking goes with using the phone too. And you're practicing on that and how you should be, you're mimicking who your speaker are. And it's so the scripting. Let's talk about scripting. A lot of people think, oh, I have to have a script for everything. I need to know all the questions before I come onto your show. I want to be prepared. Yes, it doesn't come out authentic though. If you
Right.
script everything, it's
Right.
not going to be real. So I always preach, you got to be authentic, go off the cuff. You're not going to talk about anything that's going to get us in trouble, but it's something that it's everything's up here. You just have to be able to
Yeah.
get it out.
And the answer to that is I always say professionals prepare. So always be prepared. I when you hear the words wing it, if somebody says, I'm just going to wing it, I'm going to remind them it's going to look and sound just like you winged it. So, professionals prepare. Like I thought about what we were going to talk about today. This is what I do. I've been interviewed thousands of times, 7,000. So I'm comfortable with this, but I still want to know where we're going and what we're going to be doing because it only makes both of us look better, and that's what we're here to do. So when it comes to giving a presentation, plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win. It'll help you.
Oh, 100%. And we talked about, and we were going to have you on, and we had some technical difficulties with the comedy show. And
Yeah.
hey, we have to have another P word, persistence. We
Uh,
didn't get you on then, but we're getting you on now. And it's
yeah.
just dealing with situations that arise and not worrying about it because things happen. That's
Yeah.
another thing. A lot of people don't like to try different things. Um, yeah, it didn't work the other day, but I'm like, come on, Tommy, we're gonna get you on one, and we're gonna share
Yeah.
some value. And I think
Yeah.
that's
Here we
even
are.
more important. But I love the comedy. The comedy. Now you're easing life's, negativity, easing life's things that pop up, and it allows people to laugh. And when you laugh more,
Yeah.
you're using more muscles, and it makes you feel great.
And the greatest success is no matter if I'm doing a presentation, comedy, whatever it is, I always bring humor to the game. I always bring levity to the game. You really have to, right? People learn through, I call it my laugh and learns. And I always remind you're going to get a lesson, but if it's going to be involved with levity and relaxed, and we're going to have that's how I've always worked because I understand me. I can't work in a boom, 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 boom environment. I need it to be light and airy and fluffy, or I'm not going to listen. So I learned from myself, and what I bring to my audience is humor is a big part of any presentation. People connect with people on an emotional level, and humor is a big part to do it.
Yes, emotions are so key
Uh,
in everything for your presentation, for when you're meeting new clients. You have to hit that emotional thing. That's
yep,
why I bring my daughter into a lot of my lives, a lot of my things I talk about, selfies, etc. Because I'm sharing and I'm trying to share that I'm a human being just like everybody
perfect.
else,
Yep,
you know? And
yep.
we have, and I want to just do a quick shout out to a bunch of you. They're jumping on Megan and Monica and Mark Anthony, Ralph. Guys, drop a comment. Where are you watching us from? Hit the share button, hit the wow button. But again, you engaging us, if you have questions about anything we're discussing, please drop it in the comments. We'll either get it now or on the replay. And we're just here to provide value and help as many people as possible. So
Please send me a wow, please.
that's it. We need all
That,
the wows as
I need a
possible.
wow. Send me a wow.
So when you're doing your comic, the comedian bits, and how did you
Yeah.
get involved with doing that?
Wow. I would think for most of my life I was a funny guy. I'm one of six kids. I often tell the story of I used to say to my father, "Did I parachute into this family? I can never understand how I ended up in the family." Both my brothers are cops. So I always like to share this story with people is that my dad we'd go around and my dad would say, "Here's my boys, two cops and a clown," you know. So at first they used to really tear me up, and I'd be like, "Wow, Dad, what are you doing?" And then the secret I always tell everybody is when my dad passed, who do you think they had do the eulogy? The clown. And when I got up there, I said, naturally they picked me because the only words my brothers know are license and registration. So in reality. So I've always felt that I had a natural ability, and it was my tool to connect with people. I don't want to say crutch; I'll say it was a tool, but it was always my icebreaker, and I still to this day I love to see people smile. I love to see them chuckle, and for me, humor changes people's state. For me, so it really. I'm such a people person that I'll do everything I can to make somebody smile. I mean, if I got to do silly backflips, I'm doing it. But that's who I've always been. So if I see people and I see a group of people and everybody's like, right now, it's a great time for me because my business took a tremendous hit, but I'm still spreading positivity and joy because no matter what you look at it, we're here to enjoy this life and this too shall pass. This is a big challenge, don't get me wrong, but you got to remember this too shall pass. And Zig used to always say, with hope in the future, there's power in the present. So I'm hopeful that this is all going to clear up and I'll be ready to go.
You shared something that's personal. Yes, business has a hit of a lot of different professionals because of what we've went through. But again, you have to have that hope, that have the positivity. So
Yeah,
you're doing now things that you're planting seeds for 60, 90 days from now. And that's what
perfect,
people don't realize. You do
perfect,
things for free so that money
perfect.
comes. That's a different
Yep,
mindset. People are, oh, I don't have time to do what you're doing. I'm too busy. I'm like, well, what happens if you close that business?
yep,
Now what? You have nothing
yeah.
else coming in.
One of my mentors in Utah is Bob Proctor. I've studied with the best of the best. I've spent my time with these people. The law of attraction, I'm a great believer in it. But, Bob Proctor taught me a great lesson. And one of the secrets of the universe is to continuously plant seeds, but you nurture them, right? But it's none of our business when they'll grow.
Hmm.
You're right. We just nurture them, keep an eye on it, let it go, turn it over. right? We'll have no idea when it's all going to blossom and how we're going to manifest it. So the secret is to keep planting seeds, keep nurturing the seeds. And people don't think about it, right? Making a call, giving a referral, that's planting a seed. Reaching out to someone, that's planting a seed. And that's how things work, right? The more seeds you plant, the more chances you have of having a great crop. And people don't think about business as planting a seed, but it's no different than that. Because we're all here. We're all part of nature. We're all part of this energy that's going on. That's all it is. So get out there and plant. Now's a good time to be planting. But it's also a good time to remember we don't know when we're going to, reap what we sow. We don't know right now.
It's so true. I mean, I had a call with Matthew Victoria on Monday, and we talked about call reluctance and not
Mm-hmm.
getting yourself out there and being consistent and planting those seeds and having conversations. Don't have sales calls. Don't have prospecting calls. Don't coin it that. If you coin it as we're just having a conversation right now,
Mm.
but the thing is, we won't ever have rejection. You won't
Nope.
feel bad, and you'll pick up your phone and you'll do another one. And if you're doing
Yep.
30 to 50, 100 every single day, you're going to feel great. If you get a couple no's, you're that much closer to getting to a yes, all different trains of thought. So it's important to pick up the phone and just have conversations and get to know people.
I responded to that because you had asked a question about call reluctance. And, my response to that was, you either don't believe in yourself or you don't believe in the product. And either way, you're in trouble because your belief system is what emotionally carries you to doing it. So if you don't believe in you and you don't believe in the product, there's no way you're going to pick up the phone. Or even if you do, you're not going to have great success. But another point you were just making, for me to make life easier, I never think about going out to sell something. Never. But I would sure like people to buy from me. That's my mindset. I'm not going out to sell, but boy, I'd like you to buy from me. And how do we do that? We go through it when we say that, how can I help you? Not what can I sell you? One of my opening phrases anytime I'm out with a prospect is, how can I help you? How can you get rejected for that? You can't. You can't. So what it is, you just realize you're going out to help people, serve the world. Things will change. I promise you, when you go out and for just be doing service, the more service you do, the more you will get served. I just want to add one more thing to that. A lot of people struggle with not being open to being served. So what
Yes.
that being saying is it's okay to give and it's okay to receive. It really is. Most people put a block up when it comes to receiving. They don't feel worthy or they feel guilty. If you put out, be willing to take back.
100%. And Donna, she was an awesome comedian I had on last week.
Oh,
Said a
great.
huge believer in allowing the universe to guide the way. Speak positively and get a
Yep.
positive response. I feel 100% on that as well.
Yep.
And she also just mentioned you must be ready to receive, like you just mentioned. It's so
Thank you,
key,
Donna.
because it's okay to make money.
Oh,
Everyone has business to make money, but you
yep.
also have to help people. So I had an agent on that was earlier this week, and he gets a lot of business from a car salesman or a mechanic or any small business owners. People are like, wait, why would you talk to other people that are not even with a home? Because they talk to other people and they have conversations, just like having a conversation with a barber or a beautician, whatever terminology they are right now. Those are the ones that are around everyone and they talk. When my wife goes to get her hair done before this whole craziness, it would be hours, and there are hours of conversation, and that's lead generation that can come from that.
So here's the distinguishing: barber $20, hairdresser 75. So tell your wife to go to the barber. It's tough right
Yeah,
now.
that's so true.
So, when you think Bob Proctor used to always talk about money, and he's a big guy on money, I'm glad I had him in my life. He always said, you love people and you use money, and never mistake the two. You love people and you use money. Never mistake the two. It's great.
Love
It
it.
really is. Yeah.
Love it.
Money's a tool. Money's a tool. With more money, we can help more people. Just think about that, right? If there's a cause you like that you can go out and make money and give money to your cause. Cheryl's my wife, and we often have conversations about the fact that, throughout our lives, we've never been hungry. So on that note, could you imagine that there's people hungry? Of all the things I couldn't imagine, people are hungry. So I used to say that all the time. I never missed a meal. And then one day God said to me, there's a lot of people missing meals. And we got involved with the Interfaith Food Pantry, right? It came poof, like, okay, great. You get to eat every day. You might want to take care of somebody who isn't.
So true. And with my, going piggyback with that, my wife and I, with our youngest daughter, had a liver transplant. So we're big on organ donation and New Jersey Sharing Network. And it's important to give back, because without without this kid that a family lost, we were able to benefit and allow my daughter to live. And this is how we live, and how amazing hope is. My wife and I had a crazy time going through that. And then my parents just went through, both of them had COVID. My dad was basically, they were writing him off. And he just got home yesterday.
Thank you, God.
Killing he killed it. He got out of the Camaro. He's like, I did it, like it was amazing. So
beautiful.
The hope is there, but people have to keep it lit, keep the fire lit, keep moving forward, because life sucks sometimes, but you got to work through it.
I'm just smiling because, there's no sports. So I've been watching whatever's on. I was watching Robin Roberts the other day, and, she said, and this will be good for you because you got a story. And she said, my mom taught me to make my mess my message. And we've all had parts of life where our situations were a mess. We were a mess. Things like we couldn't figure things out. But now you've got a message that you can take to the world about you and your daughter and your parents, and just change somebody else's mindset. What a blessing.
Because everyone's going through things, but nobody talks about it. That's why mental health is at an all-time high. And if everyone started talking more and sharing, because everybody goes through craziness. So we all have to deal with it. And maybe we each of us finds a way of doing it. So if you share that, it might help others. So that's how powerful that is. We're running out of time. So I want to, what are some final thoughts that you can share with us today?
Well, some final thoughts. If you want to be good at something, practice, practice, practice. And when you're done, practice again. And you know what? I like to say this, and I took it from Tony. If you don't design the life you want, the universe will design one for you. So either way, your life is going to be designed. So my whole thing is, I say to everybody, choose the life you want. Design it yourself. See, we are God's greatest creation. So we get to create the life we want. People don't think of it that way. Look around you. You created everything you're in right now. So if you want to change, 3 words: more, better, different. What do you want more of? What would you like to be better? What would you like to be different? Write it down and take action. That's all I got, Sean.
That was awesome, Tommy. I really, really appreciate you taking some time out of your busy day, drop some major value. If someone just, tuned in now, you're going to have to wait till this finishes and make sure you start from the beginning, because there's lots and lots of value. And I consider you a friend. I want to definitely meet you in the real life, time in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you. And thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
You got it, Tommy. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.